All right, good morning and welcome to today's 5 for 5 devotion. So you can see behind me, I've got some water. This past Monday evening, we had a really exciting opportunity to gather together at some water at the back river on Tybee Island and baptize 4 young people who had given their lives to Jesus. It's kind of interesting the way this came about. I had one of the moms contact me while I was on vacation a few weeks ago and said, my daughter got saved and she wants to get baptized right now. So a couple families put that together and I was able to go out there and be a part of that baptism service. It was so cool. It reminded me of a true story from Acts chapter 8 where Philip, one of the deacons in the New Testament church, was taken up by the Holy Spirit and sent to meet a man on the road. This man was an Ethiopian official. He was sitting in his chariot and he was reading Isaiah 53, which is a prophecy about Jesus. He didn't know what he was reading. So Philip jumps in there and helps him understand who the prophecy is about. And the man comes to know Jesus. Well, later on their journey, the Ethiopian official sees some water and he said, look, there's some water. Can I go and get baptized? So he and Philip got out and the Ethiopian official got baptized. It was a pretty exciting moment in the New Testament. Well, Philip was ready that day to have an encounter with someone that he had never even met. In fact, the Holy Spirit just swooped him up and took him over there to meet that man, and Philip was ready on the spot to talk to that man about Jesus. Now, you're going to see a lot of times when people get baptized that it's mainly young people. We know that around 90% of all people who claim to give their lives to Jesus do it before they become an adult. So it's really kind of rare to see an adult become a Christian, but it is an awesome moment. Let me tell you something. There are adults right now in our community who are waiting for someone to tell them about Jesus. The question is, are you ready? Are you prepared? Yesterday during Pastor Eric's 5 for 5 devotion, he talked about how as an Eagle Scout, he has to be prepared. Let me ask you this question. Are you prepared to share the gospel? Do you know what to say? Are you looking for someone to say it to? It reminds me of a story in my life. Back at my last church where I was serving, one day I pulled into the office area to go inside and I saw a car sitting in the parking lot and the hood was popped open in the car and it was smoking a little bit, and there was a guy sitting on our front steps of the church building. He had tattoos all up and down his arms and he was wearing a t-shirt that was kind of crazy, and I asked him, hey, do you need any water or anything? No, I'm fine, I'm just waiting on a ride. And I opened the door to go into the building. And all of a sudden I stopped and I said, look, man, it would be wrong of me to have you sitting here on the church steps and for me not to ask you if you know anything about Jesus. And a guy perked right up and he said, you know what? I have been waiting for someone to have a conversation with me about Jesus. Now, I usually take an interesting route when I witness to somebody. I do what I call why evangelism. I just let other people share with me their beliefs. And I say, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that? Or why do you believe that? Well, eventually, because honestly, a lot of people don't really know why they believe what they believe. But eventually, this man got to a point where he said, I don't know why I believe in these things. He said, doesn't the Bible teach these things? You tell me. Perfect opening. So I told him about Jesus. I was able to plant a seed that day, and I pray that somebody else was able to harvest it. Hopefully I'll find out when I get to heaven. But that man was ready. I could have walked right through those doors and just ignored him and thought, this guy doesn't look like somebody who wants to hear about Jesus. But the Holy Spirit prompted me to talk to him. Hey, listen, is the Holy Spirit prompting you? When you wake up in the morning and you pray, do you pray, hey God, I hope there's an opportunity today for me to share about Jesus. Will you put somebody in my life that I can share with? You may not even know what to say. You know, the blind man in John chapter 9, he didn't know what to say about Jesus. He said, look, all I know was I once was blind and now I see. And maybe that's all your testimony is. I pray that you develop that testimony. I pray that you wake up every day and say, God, put somebody in my path. To have that kind of expectancy every day to say, God, I know you're going to show me somebody I can love on today. Somebody I can point to Jesus. Just show me. I'm ready. I'm ready, God. Show me. Show me somebody. That would change the way we live. It would change the way we interact with others. I pray that that's your prayer today. And I pray God put somebody in your life who you get to share about Jesus with. Love you guys. I hope you have a great day. See ya.